Wow, look how big they've risen. Wow, check at that. They're not the best, but hey, they're good enough. Hi everybody, today we are making Char Siu Bao, Cantonese Char Siu Bao, my version, how I make it. So I'm gonna show you guys an easy method. So Char Siu Bao is just like it's a barbecue pork bun. So it's like roasted pork that you put inside a dough, and then you steam it and it becomes like a steam bun. But for the roasting, we're gonna roast the pork in the air fryer. Then I'm gonna sauce it up. I'll show you guys how to sauce it up, and then I'll also show you the dough recipe. It's a quick and simple dough recipe. It's not like the original how the Cantonese Hong Kong people do it. It's just like a quick simple method that I'm using to show you guys, and I hope this recipe will make you some delicious Char Siu Bao barbecue pork buns. So enough talking, let's get cooking. Okay guys, so here's my mixing bowl. First I'm gonna be adding in 270 ml of warm water. Today I'll be using 500 grams of all-purpose flour. So the rule of thumb is if you're using 500 grams, half of it is 250 ml of water, but then you just add extra 20 ml to your mixing bowl. Okay, so I'm also going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of sugar. This is brown sugar, and it might cause the buns to be a bit brownish because I don't use white sugar much, so I'm adding in brown sugar. And we'll add in 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, for the yeast, we're adding 2 teaspoons of yeast, instant yeast. Okay, baking powder, if you're adding 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, you're also going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. This will make the baos fluffy. Okay, now you just get a whisk. Let's go whisk this up. Okay, now you just gotta let this rest for about 2 minutes, then we'll add in our flour. Okay guys, so over here I got some, this is not all-purpose flour, it's called cake wheat flour. So I'm just gonna add in about, here's 500 grams, I'm gonna add in half of it first. Okay, now I'm just gonna put on my dough hook. And we're just gonna knead this for about a minute or two. A minute or two on low speed, just for it to just mix it up a little bit, and then we'll add in the rest of the flour. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit gooey inside like this. That should be fine. Then I'll just dump in the rest of the flour. Now we're gonna knead this at low speed for about 3 to 4 minutes until it forms like a dough, and then we'll continue kneading this at a higher speed for about 15 minutes. So I'll get back to you guys when this is done in 15 minutes in the mixer bowl. Okay guys, like this is the situation. You can see that it's not forming into a dough. So we're gonna just add in a tiny little bit of water, and then we'll start kneading it again, just for it to form a dough. Add in a tiny bit more water. Just knead. Don't add too much water. Looks like it's a little bit more wet, and then yeah, it'll form up a dough now. Okay guys, so I've let this for about 5 minutes now. Now we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, now you're just gonna knead this for about 10 minutes. Let all that olive oil fuse into the dough, and then it should be ready. Okay guys, our dough is ready. Let's check this out. Okay, so you can see the olive oil has fused into the dough. It's looking good. It's stretchy also, can you see that? Okay, now we're just gonna make it into a ball. Rolling it like this. Okay, and from the base just pinch it up. It's already looking like a Char Siu Bao here. Okay, so we're not going to oil our bowl here because we don't want too much olive oil on the dough over here. So yeah, we're gonna place this in here. We're gonna let this rise for 2 to 4 hours depending on your climate temperature. So once it's risen, it should be about this size. So cover this with cling wrap and let it rise. Then now let me show you guys how to make the barbecue pork for this. Okay guys, so over here I got some pork over here. These are like pork chops over here that I'm using. I just cut off the pork belly skin of the pork chop over here. So I'm going to show you how to marinate this, and then we'll marinate this for about 30 minutes. Then we'll pop it into the air fryer to roast these pork chops. Okay, first we're going to give it a good sprinkle of white pepper, a good amount, just like that. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder. We're going to add in 1 heaped teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder. We're going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt. Oh yeah guys, before this recipe continues, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks guys. Okay guys, so now we're just going to rub the spices into the pork. Just make sure each pork piece has a bit of that spice on it. Okay, now we're going to drizzle some Chinese rice wine. Give it a good amount. Then we're going to add in 1 heaped teaspoon of cornstarch. This will make the pork chops crispier once it's air fried. Then it will be easier to chop up into pieces, small pieces. Okay, let's mix this up again. You don't need to like add olive oil because basically pork is like all fatty oil, so there's no point in adding in olive oil before we air fry this. Okay, everything's coated. Now we'll just let this marinate for 30 minutes before we pop this into the air fryer. Okay guys, so our pork chops has been marinated for about half an hour. Let's just pop these into the air fryer. Okay guys, so I'm going to air fry this at 200 degrees Celsius, 10 minutes each side, and then it should be ready. Okay guys, check on the pork chops here. Okay, you can see it's a bit drier now. Give it a good flip. Okay, so we're going to pop these in again for another 10 minutes. Okay, after 20 minutes, looking good. Okay guys, they should be ready. I'm gonna take them out and then I'm gonna chop them up into small little pieces. Okay guys, so here's my air fried pork chops here. Let's just cut these up into square pieces for our char siu filling. See, you know, it's easier to cut the pork once it's air fried. You can have some good square little cubes of char siu. Guys, you can use any pork you like. I'm just using pork chops, and I can smell that 5 spice powder on this pork chops here. Okay, it's now time to cut it up into smaller cubes here. You can see bite-sized cubes. Put it in my tub here. Then it will be bigger. Then you have some small and big pieces of char siu pork here in your pork bao. The meat is not air fried and it's not solid like this. It'll be so hot just to get like these kind of pork cube sizes here. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys what the char siu sauce that I'm gonna be coating this pork chops with. Over here I've got 2 red onions here. I'm gonna finely chop them up, add it to the pork chops here. Okay, let's add it to our pork. Okay guys, I preheated my pan here. Let's add in some olive oil. Okay, first I'm gonna add in a scoop of crushed garlic here. Okay, next just dump in some of that onion. Okay, now just add in all of your pork pieces. Give that a quick stir fry. Okay, basically you can see all the pork pieces is already like spiced up, so you don't need to add any additional salt and pepper and all that stuff. We have to add in our sauces, turn down the heat. Okay, we're first gonna drizzle a little bit of water just to create a little sauce, not too much. Okay, we're first gonna add in 3 teaspoons of char siu sauce. Next we're gonna add in 3 teaspoons of hoisin sauce. Then we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, drizzle a little bit of oyster sauce around. And drizzle some sesame oil around as well. And just a little bit of soy sauce all around. Okay, let's tune up the heat and mix this up. Okay, you can see the color is not as dark enough, so we're going to drizzle a little bit of mushroom dark soy sauce. Okay, once it's mixed, I'm going to prepare a little cornstarch slurry. But let me just turn down the heat and give this a test. Try. Let's taste a few pieces here. It's very good, guys. Taste is perfect. Okay guys, so I tuned up the heat. Over here I got 1 teaspoon of cornstarch slurry. I'm going to put this in and then it will fuse all the sauces to the pork chop meat here. Drizzle it all around. And quickly mix it up on high heat. Turn down the heat a bit. We just try to thicken up the sauce. We don't want too much sauce in our char siu bao. Let's keep on stirring or else it will burn. Okay, I can turn down the heat. Okay, add in a handful of spring onions here. Give that a mix with the spring onions. Check that out, guys. Char siu, easy char siu for your pork buns, char siu bao buns. Let's give this a taste. Perfect, guys, perfect. I'm gonna put this back on my bowl here. And then I'm gonna let it cool down. Once it's cooled down, I'm gonna put it in the fridge for about 2 hours, and then yeah, then it'll be ready to. Then it'll be time to fold the baos and yeah, make the char siu baos, guys. Okay, guys, let's check it out though. It's risen already. It's been about 3 hours here. Let's take it out. Okay, we first gonna dust the surface with some flour. Let's take out our dough. Get all the air out. Okay, here's our dough. Okay, now I'm gonna be rolling this out. So make it like a rectangle like this. You don't want to knead this again, guys, because if you knead this again, you're gonna be adding extra flour, and you don't want that. Or else just now when you're wrapping the char siu bao, it will be too dry, the skin. So yeah, don't knead it with flour again. Okay, just keep on rolling it out. You try to get rid of all the air bubbles now. If you don't get rid of the air bubbles when you steam your bao, when you steam your buns, you'll see lots of bubbles popping out. So just give it a good flat roll like this. Get a lot of that air bubbles out of the dough here. Roll it out as flat as possible, then you know all that air bubbles is out. Okay. Now we are going to roll this out so that we can cut them into little pieces to wrap our bao. So just keep on rolling it out. Don't worry if it's sticking to the table. Just roll it out slowly. You don't want too much flour, because you want that stickiness when you are wrapping the bao. Okay. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Now we're just gonna get a pan here. We're gonna be cutting this, and then we'll put it in the pan and we will cling wrap it again. You can see? Just cut it into a decent size like this. We just put it on the pan here. Okay, can you see? So there's about 14 baos that we can make with this recipe. So we're just gonna cling wrap this, and then we'll let it soften up before we wrap the bao, because now it's dry. If you just wrap it up, let it soften, and then when you wrap your bao, it will stick better. Okay guys, let's cling wrap this and let it rest for about 30 minutes. Okay guys, it's time to wrap our char siu bao. As you can see over here, I got some like square pieces of A4 paper that I just cut up into square pieces. So once you wrap it, you just go put your bao on one of these. You dip the base of the bao, and then you go put the bao on one of these papers. Okay, so I took my char siu out of the fridge. It's cooled down. You can see the sauce is not going to be runny when you make the bao, so it's good. Okay, so just let that in for about 30 minutes. Now we can make our bao. I'm not a pro in wrapping, but I'll do my best. Tonight my mom's not gonna help me wrap. She wants me to do it myself, so let's do this. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on the table surface here. Okay, so I take one out and I can see it's sticky now, you know. It's not that dry, so when you make this, it will be good. Just flatten it, don't put no flour on it. If you're not a good wrapper, just make sure you roll this out wide enough. Yeah, just like that. Wide enough. Now we're just going to add in a few teaspoons of this char siu here. As you can see, it's not that runny. So hold one side at a time here. Stretch it, fold, stretch, 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 fold. In the end, just gonna pinch it up here. Give a good pinch. Okay, it's not the best. I did my best. You see, when you let the dough rest and then you'll be stretchier, it'll be easy to stretch this. Okay, now you just get your bowl. Just gotta dip the base here a little bit. Then you just gotta put it on a piece of A4 white paper here. Just like that. Looking good. Okay, now I'm gonna slowly put it back into my tray over here because I have my cling wrap here. I don't want this to dry up and I want it to rise. Okay guys, so you saw what I did. I'm just going to do this for the rest of all these baos and then we will steam them up. I know other pros, they like flipping and turning it around and all that stuff. But hey, I'm staying like you guys. Just try to learn how to do this properly. Okay, just like that. I'll do one more example for you guys. A few teaspoons of this char siu here. Okay, the stretch and fold method. Stretch, see now, stretch, stretch, fold, stretch, fold, stretch, fold, stretch, fold, stretch, fold, stretch, and then turn it a bit. Stretch, push it down with your thumb here. Fold, stretch, fold, stretch, fold, pull, stretch, fold, pull. And just pinch it up the top here. Okay, perfect. Put with a little bit of water at the base here. Voila. Okay, I'm gonna do it for the rest of the next 12 buns and then we'll steam this up. Hey guys, so my char siu bao is done. Can you check that? Look at that. Wrapped it nicely. It's because the dough after you cut into small pieces, you let it sit for at least half an hour and then the dough becomes soggy again and it will become very easy to wrap these bao buns. So yeah, I'm not a pro in wrapping, but hey, once that dough becomes soggy, it becomes good. Okay, so now I have done this already. I'm just gonna cling wrap it again and let it sit for about 15 minutes because I want the mouth of the wrapping here to fuse nicely before we steam it. Okay, I'm going to cling wrap this. Okay guys, so I'm using a small steamer today. I got like 14 char siu baos over here, pork buns, barbecue pork buns. I'm just going to steam seven at a time for 15 minutes on high heat. Okay, let's put our baos evenly. Okay, exactly 15 minutes. Okay guys, it's ready. So Basically, I steamed it for 12 minutes on high heat, and then I switched off the flame and then let it rest for 3 minutes in the steamer. So now we can take this out. Let's check this out. Ooh, wow. Became big Char Siu Baos here. Check that out. Let's take these out. You can see, didn't even pop or burst. Okay, now just let these cool down, and then I will steam the second batch, the last batch. Check those delicious baos out. Okay guys, let's put in our last batch. Check at them, small size and then they become big. Okay, let's cover this with a lid. Okay guys, our final batch is ready. Let's check this out. Wow, they have risen so nicely. Okay, let's take these out. Let's take these out and do a taste test. Okay guys, so I'm back from the steamer. Let's check these out. Wow, look how big they've risen. Wow, check at that. They're not the best, but hey, they're good enough. But they're not that bright. They're a bit orangey, but that's because maybe I didn't add in milk. But hey, next time I'll use the milk method. But anyways, these are huge and delicious. Okay, let's have a taste of these babies here. Okay, let's check this out. No leaks or anything. Okay. This is the A4 paper over here. Ooh. Okay, let's open this up. Ooh, wow, check that. Wow. Wow, check that out. Smells so good. Let's have a bite. Damn. So good. Guys, give this recipe a try. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks guys for watching.